Hello. Guns have been in the news of late with the Stand Your Ground law and the shooting of Trayvon Martin. And first off, we don't know what happened. We don't know if Trayvon Martin attacked him. We do know that he was following him, and the 911 dispatcher said, "Don't do that." But because of the Stand Your Ground law, if you have the appearance of being threatened, you can legitimately shoot and kill someone. It's not that they're coming after you with a gun, they're not coming after you with a knife. I mean, legally, in the castle ground, someone could come in home when they're unexpected and you just shoot them. That has happened. And this is what I really hate. I mean, Obama once said in an infamous off-the-cuff mic, that they cling to God and guns. I love God. I cling to God, but I don't cling to my guns. And for perfect honesty, my dad's a member of the NRA. He has 5 guns, and I sometimes go shooting with him for target practice. I particularly like that. But it's a sport. You don't need AK-47s for hunting. And the NRA is one of the most evil associations on the planet Earth. The other one would be NARAL. Both in the industry of death. NARAL in abortion and NRA in gun violence. I also want to clip you another. It's less publicized in the Trayvon Martin case. It's just about 3 minutes of a 911 call with Joe Horn in Paradise, Texas.
I don't want you to go outside of that house. And I don't want you to have that gun in your hand when those officers are poking around over there.
I understand that, okay? But I have a right to protect myself too, sir, and you understand that.
Yes.
And the laws have been changed in this country since September the 1st, and you know it and I know it.
I mean, these were 2 people who were coming out of their neighbor's house. They weren't a direct threat to him. He was inside of his own house.
I have a right to protect myself.
I'm right to
And a shotgun is a legal weapon. It's not an illegal weapon.
No, it's not. I'm not saying that. I'm not wanting you to,
Okay, he's coming out the window right now. I gotta go, buddy. I'm sorry, but he's coming out the window.
No. Don't go out the door. Mr. Horn? Mr. Horn?
God damn it, they just stole something. I'm going out the window.
No.
I'm sorry. I ain't letting them get away with this shit. They stole something. They got a bag of
the
something.
house.
I'm going.
Mr. Horn, do not
I'm
go
sorry.
outside the house.
This ain't right, buddy.
You're going to get yourself shot if you go outside that house with a gun.
You want to make a
What do you
bet?
think? Okay, stay in the house.
They weren't getting away.
That's all right. Property's not worth killing someone over. Okay?
God damn it.
Don't go out the house. Don't be shooting nobody. I know you're pissed and you're frustrated, but don't do it.
They got a bag of loot.
Okay? How big is the bag? They're carrying a
It's a
bag
hand-
of stuff. They're walking out about a hand up.
And
Yeah. Which way are they going?
I can't. I'm going outside. I'll find out.
No, I don't want you going outside, Mr. Horn.
Well, here it goes, buddy. You hear the shotgun clicking, and I'm going.
Don't go outside. Well, get on the radio.
No, you're dead.
Sickening, isn't it? Now, I'm not saying the people who were shot, the robbers, were not innocents. But if they were caught, they wouldn't be put to the electric chair. But this guy took it upon himself to be judge, jury, and executioner, and killed 2 people. And that, the Loeffner shooting, I mean, that has nothing to do with stand your ground. But I mean, justifiable homicides went up from 53 to 100 in Florida from when this law, stand your ground law, was passed. And nowhere in the Bible does it say if someone is robbing you to take your sword and cut them down. No. In fact, if they take your cloak, give them your shirt also. Or if you can take the shirt, give them the cloak also. The thing is, we are a violent nation. The nation with the largest gun violent rates we have. And the problem, why is it? It isn't guns. It isn't guns. I'm not the person saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Guns kill people. It's the gun laws. It's the fact that people who shouldn't own guns own guns. If there's a psych profile, Loeffner, the Virginia Tech guy, got guns over the mail. But if they had to pass a psych profile to get a gun, they wouldn't be able to get a gun. You need to have a psych profile to become a cop. You need a psych profile to be a Marine. All these jobs where you carry a gun, you have to have a psych profile. But if you're a civilian packing heat, you don't. I mean, they were against waiting periods. They are against closing gun shop loopholes. This is the gun segment of my discussion here. Now I'm going to go to God. It's funny. The Bible Belt is also the gun belt. But a lot of gun people use Luke 22:36. He said to them, but now if you have a purse, take it, and also a bag. And if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. I don't understand what Jesus was trying to say there. Because in Matthew 26:52, when Peter cuts the ear off of one of Caiaphas's guards, he said, put your sword back in its place. Jesus said to him, for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. And you can replace firearm with swords in all these examples. I mean, Jesus said to love our enemies, not to strike them down. We don't rely on God anymore. And especially Southern Christians. They rely on the gun. They rely on might. You can't rely on both. You can't, on this hand, put your faith in God and love God and follow God, and on the other hand, put your faith in military and in the power of the gun. You can't. Colossians 3:12. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly beloved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. This John Horn was not patient. He was not gentle. I think he was just going to shoot them to make a point. He could do it. I mean, I find it. And I bet you evangelicals in England and across the world are just looking at us and saying, huh? Violence is not a virtue. Violence is not a virtue. I'm not saying that sometimes violence is the best of both evils. I mean, if you come home and you see a stranger attacking your wife, I believe that that would be a valid to protect someone else or to truly protect yourself. But to protect a neighbor's property, because you suspect someone might be looking like he's up to no good, that's vigilantism. That's violence. I mean, we rely on military might and the power of the gun far too much as a nation. I mean, we also see it in our military conflicts. And the term collateral damage. A just war has no collateral damage. But the thing is, a day of reckoning is going to come where you'll be before God's judgment seat, and the true disciples of Christ will be welcomed. Kind, gentle, good servant. And the others will say, I never knew you. Go away from me, you evildoers. If you live a violent life, if you live a life of fear, if you live a life of paranoia, if you live a life behind the barrel of a gun, you're not living a Christian life. So the main point I'm trying to say is you got to choose. Sometimes I think people think that Jesus is this big, bare-chested, big-muscled man with like the Torah, the Old Testament on one side, and a sword or a machine gun on the right. But yes, he didn't come to bring peace, he came to bring a sword. But that sword is truth. And the sword of truth cuts bone and marrow. The sword of truth shows sinners their sin. And a lot of sinners don't like their sin being exposed. So yes, there's going to be conflict. There was a time when Christianity was all about serving God and serving the least of his people. Then Constantine came and screwed it up, made it about military might. And it's been about military might ever since. And I would love to go back in time to 1st century AD and just be among the first disciples. I know that I probably would have been killed, tortured, mutilated. But at least they had true fellowship. At least they weren't violent, weren't full of discord. And when they were, Paul or Apollos or Peter or Silas or Timothy would speak them down and say, no, this isn't the way. And so we have gone far. We have fallen so far from grace Sometimes we can't even see how far we fell. But the thing is, it doesn't have to be this way. Lay down your guns. Lay down your faith in fortresses, in military, in might, and put your faith with God. God bless you.